I'm aware that I need a laptop, but I've got to pay for the dog and Guatemala first.
That sounds strange because we just started the stream with Bill going, I have to pay for my dog in Guatemala first. So there's probably a story there.
Sorry.
It's an opening line, Bill. Why am I mistaking you and Bill and Dave all night? Go on ahead.
Are you paying for the national debt of Guatemala?
No, I'm going to Guatemala.
Fair enough. That makes more sense.
It's going to cost me £4,000.
That seems excessive. That's got to be one hell of a...
Not when you consider what I'm doing. Like, I'm spending a whole week in the jungle exploring previously unexplored Mayan ruins. So.
Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell who's got the best mic. Me.
You.
Pastor.
He's very clear. He has the clearest. Russell's coming across better than everybody.
Well, it's because of the wonderful technology we've got on this side of the planet.
On the globe.
No, on the flat Earth.
You'd be more than welcome to come and talk to Mark Sargent
about
that.
Holograms of the moon up there for years, so our mic technology just advanced in line with that.
Well, for everyone who doesn't know, Mark Sargent, 22nd of this month, coming on to talk Flat Earth. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
that's going to be great fun. Sorry.
So he's going to tell me I don't. He's actually on ads over here.
He was on a morning TV show here less than a month ago.
Yeah, I seen that interview.
We've got him on an ad for a gambling website.
On a gambling website.
Gambling website.
He'll do anything for money.
Oh yeah. He's taken the piss out of himself completely. But yeah, I don't think he's actually genuine. I think he's full of it.
Well, we will find out on the 22nd. I'm not going to say anything yet because I don't want to.
In the after show, are we allowed to just repeatedly ask him, do you actually believe this bullshit?
No, I don't think that would be fair if you just kept repeating the same question over and over and over again. But we'll not talk about it. We'll not talk about it. We'll move on. Because I generally do want the man to come on and have a conversation about it. It should be interesting.
That's very true. And I wouldn't be so rude, to be quite honest.
Yeah, hold on. Where's that magic button? Now you're on the bottom.
To be fair, that might be appropriate for the after party of the potentially.
Yep.
And Bill's going.
You just know how to ruin all the fun. Shush.
I need to edit that script so you can't kick me.
Pardon?
I need to edit that script so you can't kick me.
Yeah, you also need to remember to have not told me that because you've already given me the original. If you give me another one, I'm clearly not going to implement it now. Oh no, it stops viruses.
By the way, Dave, you've got the wrong hashtag. It's not damn it, Jay. It's screw you, Jay.
Is it?
Damn it, Jen and screw you, Jay.
Yeah, it's damn it, Jen and screw you, Jay.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you're supposed to be the head mod. Get this shit right. Yeah, I just want to say everybody thanks for all coming back. I really do appreciate you all coming back in the live chat. If you want to go a wee route around the room, and I think everybody knows who Jay is by now. We just spent an hour talking about him. Russell Crowe in the top corner. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Atheist Pastor. I do community-related content. Basically, I just the whole purpose of my channel is just to have a place where people can come and just do life together. Because when people get out of religion, or people aren't in religion, the one thing they miss is community. So we're just trying to provide that.
That's a fantastic description, man. Fantastic description. Would you be possibly doing anything coming up with the person below you as a segue into the person below you? That's going to be fucking taken out of context.
Funny you asked that question because it just so happens, yes. So what we've got, myself and Mama Atheist, we're actually going to start recording the first few this week. So we're doing a new channel that we're calling Exodus Youth. It's a channel that's for teens, maybe older pre-teens, but it's basically designed to give them somewhere to go that can answer questions. So we're going to be have content specifically for kids who are in atheist households and are atheists, and we're also going to have content for kids who are questioning or just want to know a bit more about atheism. So we're very clear, and we don't want to try and convert anyone, because if someone tried to convert my kid, I'd be pretty pissed off. But we're just gonna provide a safe space and some information for them, because there's plenty for us adults, but nothing really for the kids.
Go on, Amanda. Go on. Say something. It's your turn. Go on.
I'm Amanda.
You're doing this show with Chris. You're doing this show with Chris.
Oh, about that, yeah. No, it came about because one of my son's friends had questions. He's a Catholic, and he came to me because he knew Angel and I are atheists. And I did try to show him some stuff on YouTube, but I'm like, none of this really fits, his age. So that's where I thought of it, and Chris so graciously offered to do it with me. So.
And what are you doing on your own channel?
I don't know. Jay, you want to tell me? I don't shill myself. I hate that.
You'll get your It's fine. This is your minute. You're not going to get to shill the whole lot.
I have a channel. I'm on my atheist.
She doesn't.
If she doesn't shill, I'm just going to shill for her.
Go for it, man. Go for it, because you know more than me when it comes to the channel stuff, dates and times. Now, go for it.
So Mama Atheist is one of the bedrocks of our community, and she's always been in the chat. She's always been sort of contributing in one way or another, and recently she's decided to branch out, start her own channel. So one thing she's doing Critical Bitches with Jen from Jen's Little Corner, which is essentially a chat show, news show, where they've got good interviews every week. Actually really entertaining. The first few I definitely recommend to go back and watch. They had Bionic Dance on for week 1, I believe, which was a really interesting conversation. They had Hissy on last week, and some really interesting stuff on pagan and Roman culture. It was one of those chats where, I mean, I'm a historian and I learned something, so I was pretty impressed with that. But apart from that, Amanda is just one of the best people in the community, and she is someone who has a voice that needs to be listened to, and I would encourage everyone just to go subscribe, jump on, and just hear what she's got to say, because it's really, really important. Support her, because she is just freaking awesome.
On a personal note, I've recently got to get to know Mama, and everything that man just said is 100% true. She is one of the most nicest people you will meet. She'll tell it to your face as well, which the Irish appreciate. She'll tell you you're a fucking asshole. She probably already called me an asshole.
She tells me that all the time.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. The one thing Pastor always forgets when he's shilling for Mama Atheist is she'll tell you she's the biggest bitch out there.
Yeah.
I am.
She says it as she sees it. And if that's not one of the better qualities you can have in a person, I don't know. Definitely. Us Irish appreciate that.
Yeah. So before we move on to
don't forget about Dave. Dave has a channel. He did one stream and he's threatening to do another.
Oh, I don't know.
Dave, did you not? Is your quiz not this week?
Yes.
Yes. What day is your quiz?
No idea.
No way. Okay.
So before we get too far away, I want to talk to Chris and Amanda real quick. That my son is big into what you guys are doing with the Exodus youth. He helps out with that too. So I'm gonna have him at some point get a hold of one of you guys, because I think getting his take into that too will help you guys out also. So.
Yeah, and look, the more the merrier for it, because it's. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, as much as I think I'm a young person, I'm in my late 30s, so we need a lot of those younger people to be able to come in and contribute, and we want to make this a channel for them. It's not about us. We'll provide as much support and help as we can, but I mean, my dream for the channel is at some point we've got someone who's sort of 18 or 19 who can kind of start to take the reins a little bit and run with it, and we'll support them. So it's I just there's a gap, and there's something that's missing. And part of the way it came about was I've got not a teen, but a 9-year-old, and when we deconverted, it was actually pretty tough on her, because she was old enough to understand church and God and all that kind of stuff. So that sort of got me thinking, well, then how do we help kids in this situation? Because it's not like they can go to the pastor or something like that and get some advice, or a youth leader, or friends, because it's, I mean, one of the first things my daughter got told was she wasn't allowed to celebrate Christmas anymore because she is an atheist. But that being said, now she's reading books on Dawkins, so it all something worked out.
Angel's input, but Angel's an asshole, so
Well, Zane, another good thing too there is Zane is going to be going to school to be a psychologist too. So
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah. So there's it. So yeah, I think, like I said, well, I'll have him. We'll get me and Raven will have a chat with him, get him to get a hold of one of you guys, because, like I said, it's something in his wheelhouse. So
yeah, absolutely. Please get him to, because like the more the merrier. And look, anyone who wants to contribute, help. I mean, I think it's a good cause for the community.
I'll do what I can, but I probably swear too much and not be allowed on screen. Question from Question from Sal in the chat. Ask Mama, what question was the most prominent from your son's friend?
I mean, he asked, "How do you know there's not a God?" And I told him I didn't. And he asked how I dealt with not having a God in my life. Those are the two biggest.
And that's was it a long conversation, a short conversation, or was it?
No, it was a long conversation. He and I, he comes to stay a lot of times when we sit up and talk all night. He has questions and stuff. That usually it's about girls, but that night it was about God and religion, because he had just started looking into other religions and finding stuff that he felt like he understood more than being Catholic. So we sat up and talked. See, I was raised Catholic too, and he knew that. So we had a long conversation about it. Yeah.
Have you got over the guilt?
Not about the sex. I don't think you can ever get over the guilt about sex when you're raised Catholic. But everything else, I'm cool with.
Over here, it's always they make a joke of the wee Catholic girls are always the worst, because they're not allowed it. And plus over here they still segment the schools by religion, and then the Catholic schools segment by boys and girls to a certain extent.
Well, that's why. So.
Exactly, that's why. If you don't have any interaction with someone of the opposite sex during your teen years, what the hell are you going to do? You're going to explode when you get to see one guy on the weekend.
Well, it's,
vice versa.
Are you guys all familiar with the song Catholic Girls by Frank Zappa?
Oh man, Catholic Girls. I absolutely love Joe's Garage. The entire album is brilliant.
That is one of the best albums ever.
When he starts having the sex with the toaster, it gets a little extreme, but it's just fucking brilliant.
That's how I started learning German.
Ah, Eason von Sneiten, yes. Frank Zappa is an amazing guitarist, or amazing band. Like, I don't think he ever took a drug. Is it known that he never took a drug, or in his life? Is that right? Is that wrong? I heard that he doesn't take drugs when he was making music.
I don't know much about Zappa. I know Yellow Snow. That's about it, really.
Oh man, titties and beer.
I'd be very surprised if he wasn't dropping acid back in the day.
My brother told me. I think it was my brother. Might have been my brother. Might not have been my brother. Might have been my brother's friend Stevie Graham. I don't know. I'm name dropping now, trying to shift the blame. But I heard or seen in an interview that he didn't. He was sober.
Are you gonna let Dave shill or not?
No, it's already shilled for me.
You sure?
No, shut off.
What day is the quiz?
Oh, Shrewsbury.
Don't make it Saturday, because my woman's on Saturday and can't do anything Saturday night and can't be in the quiz. Don't make it Saturday. So what day is the quiz?
What day is the quiz?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I have to get fun people to do it.
Well, Jay's fun.
Yeah, but I'm booked on Saturday, so.
Exactly. Saturday doesn't work anybody, Dave.
No one said Saturday. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yes. So there's Dave.
Saturday.
Yeah. So Dave did a stream once. He's threatening to do more. The only way you're going to find out is to actually subscribe to the man.
Dave is amazing.
Dave is amazing. Dave's very similar to Mama. He is in the background doing all the hard work for all the good people. You look at the chats. He's got all the links. I do not want to see how many tabs that man has on or pages he has on his homepage, on his desktop. The links that he must have on that page just to copy and paste for everyone, because he's clearly not remembering them. If anybody knows Dave, Dave hasn't got the best memory.
Incidentally, I've got to say with Dave, whenever he's not the first one in the chat with that wolf, I start to get stressed and worry about him.
Yeah.
Whenever someone beats him to it, I'm like, oh, where's Dave? Have I upset him? Is he okay? What's going on?
Yeah, it's like a challenge between me and him now to get in with the oink or the woof. It's a wee game. He is at least 100 million points ahead of me, but I'm getting there.
I'm starting to worry about the number of people that are entering our live streams with different animal noises.
Yeah. Well, you started that then. You did start that with your woof, and then there was the oink, and now there's the meow from Mr. Kitty.
I think we've got the hiss from Hissy.
Yeah. Everybody needs their first. It's easier because when you jump into a chat, you have to say hello to fucking everybody, or you're not polite, and it's really tedious and really annoying. I just come in and go hello all the cool people, and then move on. It's so jump in, say an animal noise, and then everybody knows you're there, and then just get on with the conversation.
I've got to find your right animal noise.
You just have to find the right animal noise.
Bill, you be the fox.
Jupit's a fox.
I've done what now? Yes.
What does the fox say?
Yeah. What noise does fox make?
Yeah, that's a running joke with Jupiter.
Foxes make crazy noises. Like, I'm not joking. Foxes make crazy, howling, weird noises. Seriously, hearing two foxes fucking is the scariest and weirdest thing you'll...
After this stream,
drop out.
It is horrific.
Why do you people look these things up?
You have to know.
I live in the countryside, dude. Like, if you live in the countryside, there is no chance that you've ever not heard two foxes fucking. You might not realise that that's what it is, but, like, you hear it all the time.
Oh, yeah, there's foxes. Whenever we were growing up, we had a wee pet fox used to leave milk and cat food out for it. Don't ask me why. We had patches of cat food and milk.
How many times have we talked about duck sex, Jay?
Oh.
Go on, just say it. Dave, just say it. Corkscrew penis, go on.
I didn't say it. So
you didn't say what?
Me.
Well, what was it?
Are we talking about ducks now?
Corkscrew penis is not the interesting fact. The interesting fact is that the males and females are threaded differently.
Oh God!
Because ducks are rapists.
Yes,
Well,
they are.
what we figure out this weekend was like there was ducks, and then there was necrophiliac crows and
penguins
and
yeah,
penguins.
I feel like that fuck
Ducks.
dead walruses, by the way.
Penguins have hookers. They trade stones for money. That's a fact. That is a fact. I will back
Yeah,
up.
that is true.
That is true.
That
I
is
fucking
true.
hate penguins.
They
fucking hate them.
They dance a lot as well.
Yeah.
Shut up, Chris.
Really well too.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Still hate them. Sorry. I know it's unpopular.
Get their
opinion.
happy feet going.
Oh,
Fuck.
yeah.
I don't like happy feet at all.
No.
I actually, over my summer, which is the last few months, I actually had one of my professors that I was dealing with. He did his PhD on penguins in Antarctica and the history of them. He was obsessed.
Does he hate them now?
Hey?
Does he hate them now?
He's
got to know them.
obsessed. Absolutely obsessed with them. Loves them.
Oh no, they're fucking awful.
I just love that they have this explosive shitting. They're in Spectrum satellites. It's fantastic.
What? What?
Did you not know this?
What are you talking about? What? Don't fall off your ball again, Dave.
I'm not on my ball yet.
You're not allowed on the ball yet. Seriously, is it up in 2 weeks?
It has, but I haven't gone back on it. I like the chair's comfy.
Okay. So you were saying what? What?
But have you not seen the pictures? They got satellite pictures, so they can see how many penguins there are based upon their shitting because they projectile shit.
I don't want to be part of this conversation.
How does that work? Like what? Do they all aim to the sky at once and go, satellites watching, folks? He's ready?
Back sideways, out sideways.
Considering how they all kind of stand really close to each other, does that mean that they're constantly shitting on each other?
Well, A, yes, but B, no. This is when they're nesting that you see it.
Right.
Yeah. You know way too much about penguin poo.
Yeah. What the hell is he doing looking this stuff up?
Well, okay, do you know about the penguin necrophilia?
Yeah, we learned about that last week.
I talked about the penguin necrophilia, so that was my contribution to the conversation.
You tell MathPig now, he doesn't know.
I think there are many avian species that seem to engage in necrophilia. Bit of a thing amongst their kind for some reason.
Well, they've still got hang-ups from when they used to be dinosaurs.
I was just thinking that, Chris. Holy shit.
Great minds think alike, I tell you that all the time.
Anyway, can we fucking move this conversation?
You're the one. I don't know what to do with this.
This
I
after
really
party,
don't know.
and so far they've learnt that that penguins shit sideways and fuck they're dead.
Shush. Yeah. Yeah.
It was only a matter of time.
Well, everybody gets at least one, and now officially you're a bottom. So.
First time for everything.
No, well you're under me, but yeah. Even if I leave, if I leave and come back though, it always puts me at the top. See, I'm special.
That you are.
Oh, you're so funny.
Special.
You ride the special bus to special school and get a special discount because you're a very special person.
I get my own free bus pass out of it. You all be quiet.
I was actually being genuine. Fuck you, assholes.
Are you whinged to get in here and the only thing you've contributed is rapey ducks and shitty penguins?
And people wonder why they're all devil worshippers.
There you go. There's that abusive mama that we all know and love. Fuck the whole audience.
Raising the discourse.
That's me.
For those who don't know, you're part Irish.
Yes, I'm half Irish.
There you are. So there's where the abrasive attitude comes from. We're not going to blame the spud eaters, but you technically could blame the spud eaters.
Yes. So, you're welcome.
All the Aussies are turning up now. It must be morning time. And what time did you say it was there, Chris? 10, 11 o'clock?
What do we got now? I think it's about 10:30.
Yeah. All the we've got Nacha coming in. Sammy's just woke up out of bed as well. They all had a lay-in.
Well, I think Notch is in a different time zone to me. He's 20 years and 1 hour behind.
He got a new computer. Okay, he got a new computer. He's up to
Did anyone see Navadia's excellent live stream earlier today?
No, I missed.
No, I was sleeping.
I popped into the first two that didn't work. Sorry, go on ahead, Chris.
Sorry, I was just saying I saw bits and pieces, but I saw it after. It looked as though it didn't go to plan.
She got it working.
I popped into the first one and typed oink before Dave, and she was like, sorry, this one's not working. I was like, it's okay, I beat Dave, I'm at work anyway, I can't listen. And then she did the second one and it worked and she came on screen, but I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, I think she was learning OBS, which is the great mystery to many of us.
See, what you all need to do is just open up a second channel and give it to one friend, and then test OBS in it. That's what I did. Tell nobody, and then when you've it mastered, then you come back and everybody thinks you're great. No, not great. Loads of videos called "Fuck you OBS," "Fuck yourself OBS." Oh, I fucking hate OBS. Loads of them videos.
That would require friends.
I've got one stream. I've got 24 videos testing and fucking OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have learned on the go with a little help from Ozman Cometh on my way through. But yeah, most of the stuff that I know about OBS, I had to muddle through and figure out on my own. Lots of YouTube going, how do you do this?
Yeah.
That's usually the best way, to be fair. That is usually the best way.
The best thing that OBS did was upgrade and get that scheduling in their last update or 2 updates ago. The fact that you can now schedule through OBS in a real handy way with just hitting one button rather than...
That's not OBS, that's slumps. In real OBS, you can do more.
You must teach me, Grandmaster.
But you can't schedule.
Huh?
Well, it doesn't integrate with YouTube directly. That's the advantage of slobs.
Well, that's what I want, so that works. So now you've been made null and void.
Hey, guys.
Yes?
Yes. I have somebody. Come here.
Hello, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
Holy
Nice to meet
Twin
you.
Jesus.
Hi. He just wanted to say hi.
Did you think he was fake, Chris?
Oh, Chris told him he was a fucking asshole the other day.
I was a Twink Jesus mythicist, but now I believe.
Yeah, you see, I only learned this word the other day.
Are we allowed to call
Which word?
Twink Jesus, it's a pretty new thing.
Yeah. It came about.
Makes no sense, and it's stupid, and it's silly.
It just imagine there was a stack of drunken people in a chat room, and it kind of went from there.
Take her. She won't shut the fuck up.
See, drunken conversations and tangents and ending up naming things. Yeah.
Yep.
Love you.
That's why
Pretty
I'm
much
called
how Australia
MathPig.
was founded.
I was still drunk from the night before and changed my name to MathPig on Doorknob Head suggestion. And at the time with YouTube settings, you couldn't change it again for 3 months. So I was stuck with it. And that was down to alcohol and Doorknob Head.
Alcohol and doorknob head. That's not going to be a good combination.
Ah, great
Indeed
channel, man.
not.
Have you not been in MathPig's channel before?
And you think that's all he did?
Oh,
had-
no, I assume there was more.
Have you been to a little T and Danish's streams? She's got a picture of his colon on the wall.
I haven't noticed that.
Ask her. Next time you're at T and Danish's stream, ask her where Doorknob Head's colon is, and not only will she put a picture of it on stream, he will probably turn up in the chat.
Well, if you say his name three times, he appears, doesn't he?
That works for Mama as well. I did that earlier. I was like, I
What?
summoned Mama Atheist, and she appeared in Angie's stream.
Oh,
That is
now,
true.
now we're going back to the movies from the previous stream, aren't we?
Yeah, well,
Now that
ask,
we're
what's
talking
your
about-
favorite? If everybody had to pick a top 3 movies, now I know considering Jay right behind you, that's very difficult, okay? But could you bring it down to 3, and we'll work our way around the room, and I'll go last because yeah, I'm king.
Blues Brothers, Popeye, and Alien.
Popeye's a weird but fantastic choice with Robin Williams.
I love
Yeah,
that
well,
about
Robin
Jay. That makes me so happy.
Shush, it's
I don't
not
know
your
why.
turn. It's not your turn. Bill, you were saying, Bill.
Me?
Yeah, Popeye, because it was the first movie my dad ever took me to.
Oh.
So it's got that special spot. Not to mention, it's just a fabulous movie. Even, I understand that even Robin Williams hated that movie, but I enjoy it. I've got one unopened copy, one that I watched. I've got it on VHS somewhere, and I've got a DVD that's been played so much it doesn't quite work right.
Bill.
Yes. Favorite 3 movies? Blade Runner, Pi, and In the Mouth of Madness. There we go.
In the Mouth of Madness is a good one.
I like it because, like, even though it's like B-movie quality, it's crazy. And also, one of my favourite bands ever, Frontline Assembly, used to use the quote from In the Mouth of Madness, where everything goes wrong at the end, and he's sat in the cinema, looking at himself sat in the cinema, looking at himself sat in the cinema, and there's that long quote about the whole world just going to shit and everybody dying, and they used to use that as the intro for their live set. It's like 2.5 minutes of extremely spooky, weird music, and that was one of the things that I love about that movie.
Now, are you talking The Life of Pi, or is there...
There's a movie
No,
called
Pi, the black and white movie, which is what was the guy that wrote the piano, that directed the piano? I can't remember, but anyway, that is a very, very good movie. It's a black and white movie that was made in the 90s.
I still haven't watched
number
it.
Pi.
You've been torturing me since
yes, you
I
should,
met
dude.
Bill.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
You see, I'm thinking it's going to go down the same lines as that movie, what do you call it? Oh, where your guy's trapped in a room and he's trying to figure out all them numbers. I need to look it up. And it was really boring. And it had good people in it. It was really boring. And I'm afraid that might happen.
It's not, honestly, it's.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. We've had this conversation.
To actually understand it,
I know,
but it's good.
We've had this conversation so many times. And over the year that I've known Bill, he has been torturing me from the get-go to watch Pi. And I'm like, no, you can't be arsed. Chris, atheist pastor, or Russell Crowe, as we all like to know, what is your top 3 movies?
Surprisingly, no movies with Russell Crowe in them. Top Gun. Top Gun's just, I think it's the ultimate man movie.
You're not seeing Conan?
Yeah.
Monty Python's Life of Brian, because that's just awesome. And then I'd probably have a toss-up. 2001: A Space Oddity, and a movie called Boytown, that's an Australian one.
Shit, I've only narrowed mine down till at least 1.5 here. I fucking getting close to me. Dave, if you get off the phone, can you go?
No.
Yes, you can.
I can't remember 3 films.
You can't remember any 3 films?
Oh, not really.
You're bound to, because if your brain works to the point of repetitiveness, and if you watch the same ones over and over again...
Okay. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, that's a shock, seeing as you're fucking bi and all that, but we're not making a big deal out of it. But go on ahead.
Shawshank Redemption.
Brilliant, yeah. That's one of mine.
Trying to think of films I've watched over and over again.
Well, I would definitely say my first one would be The Abyss. Number 1, without fail, The Abyss Special Edition. I can sit and watch that movie 10 times a day, every day of the week. That would be a desert island disc that I would bring with me and watch over and over again and be happy. And have to bring an entire crate of tissues for that scene where he is live, breathe, and he's screaming at the wife and all that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in a long time, but yeah, that's a...
Oh, man. You watch it, right? And if you haven't watched it in a long time, I know it's very poignant at the start where he throws the ring in the toilet and he puts his hand down into the toilet and it turns bright, bright blue at the very start. But if you watch, his hand is blue through the entire movie.
Yeah. Yep.
The whole movie. You know, the scene in the submarine where oh my goodness. It's okay, no, Dave will forget. Where she starts to run out of air and then he drags her back and then, my goodness.
Is it bubbly?
It's about the aliens in the abyss. The aliens at the very bottom of the abyss.
I think that's ringing a bell.
My second one would probably be Conan. Conan sticks out in my memory. It's the one where it might be the second one, or is it the first one? Where he's already Conan, not his training. And he takes the wee girl.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
That's the Destroyer.
Conan because it's Conan the Destroyer and Conan the Conqueror. They didn't name it 1 and 2, isn't it?
It's Conan the Barbarian, and then it's Conan the Destroyer.
Conan the Destroyer, sorry. Well,
Yeah.
Conan
And then, little unknown fact, he plays the same character but with a different name in Red Sonja.
where they climb down the snake roof or the temple and stuff. I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's Red Sonja. He plays Conan the King, but he's got a different name. But he's the same character. If you watched, I even think the sword's the same.
Low budget, probably just.
Low budget. Enemy Mine was such a good movie.
My third one would probably be Donnie Darko, or it would be a tie-up between Donnie Darko and and now I'm even forgetting the fucking name. Is it Primer? The time travel movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Jay?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Right. It's a B movie where two mates are trying to create something in their garage, right? And by a certain happenstance, when they put something in and they take it out again, it's the same as what it was when they put it in. And they realize if they leave the box that they've created, there's a wee box that's inside this, and if they leave it going inside it, time bounces between A and B, A being where it started, B being actual time, and time bounces back and forth between it. And if you time it correctly, that you can leave back when the box was switched on. So if you switched the box on now and didn't enter it for 2 weeks, when you left the box, it would be 2 weeks before you entered it.
Huh.
And they create this in their garage. It's very B movie. And not only will you need to watch the movie at least 3 fucking times, you'll have to watch 4 YouTube videos that explains it. It's a flip up.
Everyone, I've got to run. I've got to go and actually do proper adult stuff during the day, so I hate doing
stupid adult stuff.
I know. It's
good talking to you.
Laws against it, but
Chris,
all the best, everyone. Thank you for having me on the stream.
Oh no, I appreciate you coming in, man. I really do appreciate it. I know it was only Jay and Mama that brought you on here, but thank you very much for coming on. Definitely watch that. Definitely. Thank you very much.
I sneak in here from time to time. Don't worry.
You're welcome to sneak in my back door anytime, Chris.
Oh, you say that now, but you haven't bought me flowers yet.
No, Dave won't get that offer because Dave's scary.
I'll see you all.
See you all, Chris. Thanks.
Hi, Chris. You know you skipped me.
It was the shuffling.
Yes, so you didn't ask her favourite movies.
Hold on, do I make her... Oh no, there you go.
I
now she's last. Now it's your go. Go on ahead.
The Departed, Empire Strikes Back, and then either Goodfellas or Godfather 2.
On that topic, the Gangs of New York was fantastic.
Oh, that was an awesome movie. I didn't think when I first sat down to watch it, I'm like, this is gonna suck. It's like 3 hours long, but once you get into it, you're just glued to it, and you're like, you just get that it's just like.
Yeah, no, you don't see the 3 hours go in. It's the same with the Abyss Special Edition. It's something like 2.5 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Long movies are okay. I appreciate the Lord of the Rings. I do.
Yeah. Now, see, I watched the theatrical cut, then I watched the extended versions. I can't watch the theatrical cut anymore.
Well, you see, I'm the opposite because one of my friends went out and bought all the extended versions and we spent an entire weekend drinking and watching them back to back. That was days of viewing, man. Like, some of them movies are up to 4.5 hours long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so good.
One of the biggest things from the cut was the actual introduction of the cloaks. They don't have cloaks. They do have cloaks.
Yes.
That was I didn't notice it the first time, but after watching the extended and then going back, it was like, holy shit, they cut that out. Yeah,
it was like they cut the whole thing where she gave him the little jar of light, and then the daggers, and then the cloaks with the. It's like, why would you cut that out of the movie? Because they actually use those later.
Yeah, against the spider and stuff and all, they are very poignant. But you don't notice, as I say, I watched it normal and then extended, and as you said, then you can't watch it because there's certain parts it's like, what the fuck did you cut that out for?
Did any of you guys see Taken, the Steven Spielberg TV series about alien abduction that had Dakota Fanning in it? Did any of you see that?
I know what you're talking about, and I didn't watch it, but I do know what you're talking about.
I watched the entirety of that back to back, like in one session, and by the end of it, I was so sleep deprived that like it got to the bit where like I'm not gonna. I won't spoil it because just in case anyone wanted to watch it. But by the end, I was so sleep deprived that I was like Steven Spielberg, literally in tears, like, oh, it's so sad, it's so happy, it's so sad, it's so happy. Sleep deprivation and that does not go well.
I'll not be afraid to admit that I probably cry more at movies than I do in real life. I just can't help it. You're watching the movie and something happens and it just fucking triggers me. I think my girlfriend was behind when Dave was on the other day and she was like, he's a blubbering mess at the mall. It's honest to fuck, man. I can't help it. Like, she'd just be looking over at you, but you crying? No, I was eating onions or something. Some shit.
She cry in movies.
Hmm?
She cry in movies.
No, she's a heartless bitch. She doesn't even like flowers. I turned up the first Mother's Day with flowers and she didn't want them. And the second year I turned up with flowers, she says, well, I told you last year I didn't want them. And I was like, yeah, this year they're for your mother. There you are, Martina. Very happy Mother's Day. No, she doesn't do any of that shit. I've explained on stream before, I spent over fucking 250 quid naming a dual star system in my constellation after my daughter and the girlfriend. And just before I give her all of that, she handed me a bottle of Buckfast. And when sure, Valentine's Day is a crock of shit anyway, isn't it? And then I come out with this wooden box with wooden roses with star coordinates and all engraved on it. And she will not put the poster up or any of it up because I named it KDM, her initials being DM, and K because it's kinky. And that was how I met her on Plenty of Fish. Her name was K and then her name. So I named it Kinky, her initials. So she was like, how long does that last? I was like, a star? Like, a long time.
Millions of years.
Yeah.
Right, 2 seconds. Jen, what the fuck are you doing here?
Is Jen here? Because I got Jen here.
Jen's
Hey, Jen.
This is my daughter.
Jen's little corner is your daughter?
No!
Well, she just turned up in the chat.
Kystra is my daughter. Her name is Jen.
Who?
Which one?
Kystra. Kystra.
Oh.
Hello! I can't see your name in the chat. I'm looking to tag you.
Well, then I got the other Jen here.
The other Jen's here too. But I wouldn't turn around and ask her what the fuck she's doing here. It's normal for her to be here.
Now we're all just in shock. We're all just in shock. I don't care. This is ruining the stream. Look, subscribe. There you are. She's now got 2 subscribers. The stream is back. Well, thank you. You know, your dad's amazing. Your dad's great. He's scary, but he's great. I'm thinking you're bringing a padlock with me to
no, he's
Dave
not. He's an
Cullen.
embarrassing douche.
She likes my David Jet t-shirt.
Pardon? She likes
my David Jet t-shirt.
So I just got to say that Dave is cool and will be ever cool in my book because he's the first person to ever buy a T-shirt from my Teespring. So
I'm still waiting for mine, Jay.
Me too.
You got the express shipping. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Oh, that's bad. That bodes really bad for me.
Yeah, it should have been here by Saturday. I haven't checked my emails. I might have an email from him in my emails, but I haven't checked that yet.
Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, Raven emailed him going, what the hell? Because we paid for the express shipping so I could have it for Saturday, and there wasn't nothing there.
Yep, I remember that. So, fuck those guys. But Dave got his all the way in England, so what the fuck is that about?
It's funny that as well because Skylar Fiction, when he released his line of Raptor Jesus stuff, I ordered mine and he ordered his the same day when they were released, and I got mine before he got his.
Interesting.
So they've invited her into the stream.
Yes, I have invited, which is Brojo's in the background. Brojo's in the background, but I'm sorry, but if Dave's daughter comes on, we're getting her onto the stream. So if she doesn't appear in the next couple of minutes, she's not coming in, she's just lurking. Okay. Hi, Brojo.
Man, you know, I keep being treated like a second-class citizen in these hangouts.
That should tell you something.
Hey, you're out.
I just don't show up anymore. I mean, I don't know what the deal is here. What's going on?
No, we love you, bro, Joe. We love you. You just always come in late, man. You always come in late, and usually what happens is people ask me, is there an after party? I say yes, and then send out links to people, and then they've been promised slots, but we have to wait till they don't turn up. It's like the doctors. You can't give out an appointment until the person who was booked didn't turn up. It's not that we don't love you.
Bye, Angie.
I'm putting all the blame on you for not turning up for my streams. Basically, that's what I'm doing. I'm shifting the blame.
Sorry, business comes first.
How are you, man? How are you?
Everyone
I'm doing quite well, better than most.
Nearly what Richard always says. What is it Richard always says? Better than I deserve, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Did
I
someone...
don't know why you would say that. Why doesn't he feel like he deserves the best? Richard, you deserve the best. Be the best you. Why not?
Richard
is
is
false humility stuff. That's false humility.
Yeah, no, Richard is a good person. We'll not all agree with him, but he's definitely a good person.
Yes, Richard. I like Richard. He's definitely eccentric.
Who's on Discord? Somebody's on Discord. That's Dave.
I like him.
I'm gonna say cripple.
The daughter is messaging me.
What was sorry, go on ahead, Brojo.
No, I was just gonna comment. I was saying in the chat, I just never understood the collecting of all these movies. I never understood that. It's not like music. Music you can like listen over and over. Very rare are there movies that I would see like more than one time.
Well, there's
movies I like. I've seen dozens of times.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
I'm the same with both music and movies, though.
My collection actually does have a story behind it because I was a full-blown alcoholic. And when I quit drinking, I used movies to help stem that.
It's like a therapy, huh? Awesome. Yeah. Hey.
So that's why I have so many movies.
I can't believe I didn't ask that in the main interview.
No, that's fine. It's
and saying that, I have heard that story before, which is sometimes the problem. I don't know if you found this, Jay, when you do interviews with people, but the fact that you know someone and have them on their channel and you've had that conversation and you know it, sometimes you forget to ask that question for the benefit of the audience because I've already heard it.
Yeah. So that's why I for my tables, I actually wrote up a top 10 question list to read off.
Cool.
Yeah, I really should do that. I only actually sit down and make, I was going to say make the effort. That's really rude and disingenuous to who you are. Like, but some characters and some people, like, you need to think about it. You know, questions, it's relative to the person. Like, I knew that whenever Jay came on, we were going to have a great time and just banter. I had no topic set, no fuck all, because Jay's personality and my personality is just, how you doing? What's going on? What's the banter about? You know, and
somehow we got talking to movies, and that took up like 40 minutes of the conversation.
Honestly, fuck, man, that's you're telling the truth. Like, it was 5:15, and then I looked over and it was 5, and I was like, have we really been talking about movies that could have went for longer?
I know.
I
don't see. That's the thing. I don't get to talk about movies as much as I enjoy to, because I try when I'm talking, I tend to try to keep to who I'm talking to their subject or stuff. So when it comes to me, I don't get to talk about movies
Jay,
as much as I enjoy.
Well, this entire episode is all about you. So Jay, what do you want to talk about? What would you like? What, if you could say anything, and completely, your channel has no restrictions whatsoever. Obviously, don't break terms of service. But what would what's important to you? What would you like to talk about by the movies? Oh, I just see a skull in the background that I've never seen before.
Oh, the one peeking out in the corner there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there's actually two. There's a skull and there's a tiger. Those are so I'm not sure why, but I got those from two different zoos here in Michigan. The first one, we went to the zoo with the whole family. That's the tiger one, the skull one. And I wasn't feeling really well, really kind of feeling sick, and my hip was bothering me so bad it was hard to walk. So I bought the skull for to help me walk around. And then last year, me and Raven, for our anniversary, went down and visited another zoo, and I picked up the tiger one. So now it's got to the point where if I ever go to a zoo, I've got to pick up a walking stick.
Preparation for old age.
Yeah. So, but no, yeah, movies. I'm always game to talk movies.
If you're a movie buff or a movie fan, you can actually get some interesting insights into a person's personality based on what movies they like.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like. For me, it's you know, I prefer the action movies. But if the movie is done really well and it's got a good story, it's good for me. I mean, it doesn't have to be the best special effects. I mean, if it's got a good story, even the acting doesn't have to be good, as long as the story will pull you in.
The movie that John mentioned earlier, Screamers, is a prime example of that. When they open up the robots, it's looking inside a 1950s clock, but these things have AI. You know, the effects are really bad. And it's just robots pretending to be kids who actually are kids, but it's a great movie.
Well, look at the original Tron.
Oh man, brilliant!
Brilliant movie.
Great movie.
Excellent, great movie. But the graphics, I mean, were great for the time. You look at them now, the graphics were crap, and the acting wasn't that good. But the movie itself, overall, was phenomenal.
The new one I really enjoyed. I went to the cinema.
I did too.
Yeah, I actually splashed the money because you can get, you know, you can stream now. You can do the whole VPN and all that crack.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'll pay for a movie if it's worthwhile. And Tron, the second one, was definitely worthwhile going to the cinema and seeing.
Yeah, there was one. See if I can find it again.
You like the second Tron?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question for you, Jay. How do you have your movies organized?
They're not really at the moment. usually I put them in alphabetical. They're kind of alphabetical at the moment, but kind of not really. When we moved everything over into the room here, we just kind of threw them up there, and I was like, okay, I'll organize them later, and I've just never got around to it. Oh, there it is. Now, a lot of people don't like these movies. But these are some of my favorite. I don't know if you can see that. The Blomkamp movies, District 9, Choppy, and Elysium.
Absolutely brilliant, except for Elysium. But the other two really good. Elysium's a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't like District 9.
But Elysium, for me, is a really good movie because it's got a really good story.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Best
what
thing
lets
about Elysium
Elysium
is
down.
the soundtrack.
Elysium gets let down by Matt
Cryptic
Damon.
Cryptic Minds are badass.
I feel like Matt Damon lets down Elysium. He was not the character to pick as the main character.
No, it really should have had somebody else other than Matt Damon, but I thought it was really good. And then the other one, I don't know if anybody's seen this one, Escape Plan with Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
I liked the first one. The second one was kind of meh, and the third one was just horrible.
What did you... right, thinking of the guy who was in Highlander. The original Highlander, right?
Yeah.
And there's a movie...
Christopher
Lambert, exactly. Right. Christopher Lambert is on the run in the future. Population is low and he gets captured and taken to a spaceship.
Yes.
Prison. There's two of them. The first one was good. The second one was a 90s remake.
Yeah, the 90s remake was... I didn't care for that one, but the first one was... I can't remember. I know exactly which movie you're talking about.
Where they actually have the balls in their belly that make them explode in the pain centers and they drag it up through their throat and all. That is fucking amazing. This is great. Jay, we should just have a movie stream once a week. We could just... How do you know these movies? These are great.
Yeah.
What is that called? It's something along the same as Trap something. Oh.
God, I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of...
Oh! Begins with T.
See, now I'm going to have to look that up.
It's alright, you've got a second screen. I'm using both mine. I can see it in my head.
Movies.
I don't know if Kevin's still here, and I know we can't hear it, but I hope everybody appreciates the background music. There has been like close to 9 months worth of work went into that background music that goes on, and somebody left a comment on one of my videos the other day, and it's had 970 views and one cunt, sorry, I don't care who you are and I'm Irish, you're a cunt, couldn't watch more than 20 minutes because the background music was distracting. You're wrong. You're just
Yeah, you
wrong.
are totally wrong. Unlucky. Get out.
Sorry.
You have no taste.
It's got a calming effect, that music.
It's great.
Yeah, the Fortress.
The Fortress, that's what it is. And then there's the Fortress 2, I think it is, or is it the end of the Fortress 1 where he gets the AI in the lorry and crashes it in, and great movie.
Yeah. You're talking. Yeah, the one you're thinking about is Fortress. Yeah.
Right. On that topic, on that idea, is there a movie that you can find on that channel, or you will might know of, that a guy gets dumped on an island, and there's nice people on one side of the island, and there's bad people on the other side of the island? Now it's 90s or 2000s, and he gets dumped on the bad side, finds the gun, gets washed down a waterfall, drags it to the good side.
Oh, I know the one you're on about. I know.
Aaron?
Oh, what is that movie called?
What is that movie called? See, this is why we're going to hang out with Jay, because these are great
hang
movies.
on.
And I was watching movies in the 90s that I shouldn't have, and they were poignant for him, so we've got a Venn diagram where we overlap again.
Yeah. No, I can't think of what that one is.
I can't either off the top of my head.
But you know of the movie?
I know what you're on about there.
They have a fence around their little city. He ends up building a boat. I know it sounds very much like The Blob or whatever it is, and a crossover with other movies, but
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't even think of who was in it. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, but Jay, you for sure, you should check out Pi.
yes,
Because you were talking earlier on about conspiracy theories and such. Briefly, I think you said that that's something that you looked into before. If you're into that sort of thing, you should definitely watch it. It'll be right up your street.
yes,
Without
I'm
a
shouting yes, not at Pi, but yes at John in the chat. Ray
Darren
Liotta is in this movie.
Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now seeing the cover, yeah, I know which movie you're talking about. I haven't watched it yet. I think I have it in my Netflix queue.
Is it on Netflix?
Now that I see the cover, I've got it. I had it in one of my queues. I remember seeing because I recognize that cover.
If it's on Netflix, tell me, what's it called again?
Pi.
Oh no, not Pi. I thought you'd find the movie that me.
Oh,
and John
no,
were talking
no.
about with
Oh, sorry, that was me. That was me distracting. My bad.
yeah, the one I'm thinking of. John. Yeah, we'll get John. John's of the right ages too. I know I'm being very ageist, but the movies in the 90s, there is some of them that, like now movies is all about special effects, and there's that much data out there, whatever you want to call it, that people can make movies and no escape, that's what it's called. People can make movies and make shows specifically designed for this, that, and the other, and in reference to that, like a child show, Inside the Midnight Garden or something like that it's called. There was a lot of studies went into what is good for kids, this, that, and the other, and what they don't like, and blah, blah, blah. I fucking hate that show, like with a vengeance. You can hear it in my voice. I'm angry. I don't even like talking about that show. I had to leave the room with my gear or I was watching. I know, bad show. But she absolutely loved it, and it got to the point where I had to switch the television off to get her distraction away from it. Because it was designed specifically to get this, that, and the other, it drew attention away. And you can see shows like, I personally think, I've never watched more than a half an hour, but shows like Game of Thrones and things like that, that cover all the bases that everybody must watch, and you have to watch this, it's fantastic. And everybody thinks it's great because it covers so many bases, especially what is popular at the time. And just plays on it. Now, I'm not going to go wrong because it's brought so much tourism to Northern Ireland, but yeah, rant over.
What?
That's my favorite show, right? Like, have this conversation. You're so fucking mean about it.
I knew that going into this conversation, Amanda. I knew that, but
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that look on Amanda's face. She's like, motherfucker. And she's
The fact that it was popular. I mean, I started watching it from episode 1, so I didn't get into it. It was popular. It's just good. It's a good show. So is Breaking Bad.
That was another one that
watched Breaking Bad.
Got into very early. That is amazing.
Not Breaking Bad.
I saw it after the third episode. They did like a a weekend where they kept playing them over and over again, and I started watching it. Then I was like, this is fucking amazing, and it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect fucking show.
Yeah.
So
I started watching it early purely because I had friends on Xbox Live that used to say to me, "Come on, you need to give me some UK shows that no one's heard about." And I used to share stuff with them, and they were like, "This dude, you've got to check this out, Breaking Bad. It's so good." I'm like, "Okay, all right, I'll have a look."
And so is Better Call Saul. Yeah, really Better Call Saul is fucking amazing too. So
yeah,
never watched that.
Of course not, because you're
a dick. Go on, say
it. Right. On that note, it's time for me to go and try and sleep.
All right, Bill. All right, Bill.
Damn.
Sons of Anarchy, absolutely.
Never watched that either.
Oh, that is great. That show is so good.
Bye, Bill. I didn't kick you because it was an ass. Brought you back. It's only been funny. Bill's actually been to my house. Bill's travelled over from England last year and came and stayed for a whole weekend.
Oh.
We had an interesting time. It was fun. The Sunday after the Saturday night, he stayed upstairs and I stayed in the living room. We both just died.
So, Jen's Little Corner says if MathPig would have paid attention to her, she would have joined.
The link. The link was in the chat multiple times. The link is everywhere. It's not in the description, but it's all you have to do is ask for a link, Jen. Control V, look. Control V, enter. That's it. Come on in for 15 minutes before you go to bed. Come on. Come on. It's early there. It's bright in the morning. Would that be right, Jen? You know their times better than me.
I think she's across the morning there.
What time is it by you, MathPig?
That's a really angry camera. That's a very, very angry camera. There you go. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
It's dark behind you. I very rarely see it dark behind you.
It is very dark.
Get the lights turned off.
That's creepy as fuck.
Pardon?
Yes, it is. So.
Welcome, Jen. Jen, for all the people who don't know, would you like to tell everyone how fantastic you are?
Sorry, what was that?
I said, for all the people in the chat who don't know who you are, would you like to tell them how fantastic you are?
Oh, I got two lots of audio. That's why I can't understand anything. Yeah, sorry. Now the background audio is off, I might actually be able to hear what's going on.
Shill yourself, Jen.
Oh, shill myself. Is that what you said? Yeah, I'm Jen from Jen's Little Corner. I do atheist, LGBT, and sciencey stuff on my channel, and I take the shit out of people on Twitter. So that's about me. I'm very similar to what Amanda does.
Well, we have a show together, so
we do. We have a show together.
Question.
And yes, I'm sitting in the dark, even though it is daytime, sort of out there. You can see a little bit of light through the window back there.
Question though, Jen. Is your corner actually that little?
Yeah, this room is tiny.
It's all relative.
Yeah, it's all relative. I've also got bed face at the moment because I basically got out of bed and hopped on. Because Amanda was harassing me.
Okay, I'm up now.
I appreciate you coming on. I do want to I'd love to do an entire month of Aussies. But that entire month would have to shift the entire fucking thing all around. Because you're all upside down and on the other side of the plane.
Well, if you had me on fairly soon, I can get up at weird hours at the moment. So
you do keep some weird hours, Jen. That's for sure.
I definitely do.
Well, you've just got up, which is quarter past. It's quarter past midnight for me.
Yeah, well, it's only 8 a.m. for me. So
well,
Raven said, "Ooh, Jen's all sexy."
Could you get up at 6?
Jen is not sexy at the moment. Jen is still in her PJs, and Jen is.
Can Jen?
This is why Jen is in the dark. Jen was actually going to put a photo up when I clicked the wrong button.
Can Jen get up at 6 in the morning, or stay up all night drinking? Probably stay up all night drinking would be a better version for an interview with me.
I can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Then we'd have to do a month where we got all the Aussies to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's fair.
What'd you say, Amanda?
Well, it's worth it because most of them are like 2 to 3 hours ahead of me in time, so I'm the one in the worst because I'm 8 hours ahead of GMT. So,
where's Sammy? Is Sammy something like that as well?
No, he's another 3 at the moment. No, at the moment he's 2 hours ahead of that.
Yeah, because I was trying to put him in contact at the start when him and Easism Works, who does my artwork for the channel, trying to put them two in contact with each other. That was insane. They couldn't get times right because Sal's in California, so I think the time difference between them is 16 hours.
15, 16 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so it's easier sometimes to work it by the past back. And it was, disaster. Absolute disaster.
Amanda and I have it pretty easy because it's like, and same with Jay because we're like 12 hours, so.
I never sleep. You never seem to sleep, so it's just fucking
well, I can flex most of my hours around it, especially as for the next several weeks I'm not doing school runs in the morning, so that gives me a bit more time back up my sleep. So.
I'm lucky. My son's school is like almost across the street, so I don't have to do that shit. So.
Well, my daughters are too old to go to school, but this is my great niece. Jeez, yeah. I'm old.
Is she really that good?
Yeah. No. Oh no, she's adorable. She's only 5. I can't pick on a 5-year-old too much.
No, we just pick
somebody
on
else
Angel.
and you can hand it back.
We have Angel to pick on, so that's the kid that everybody gets to pick on because he likes it.
Because he is sexy twink Jesus.
Jen, check your WhatsApp real quick.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, my WhatsApp. Okay.
Oh, we've got WhatsApp. You see that? You can always tell the level of friendship whenever you get the WhatsApp.
Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, I think I'm done. What were we talking about before? What were you guys talking about?
You met our guest for the show tonight.
Oh yeah, I think I know him pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not that bad. He doesn't own a motorcycle, but if he sold all his DVDs, he could probably buy the best chopper in the world.
Yeah, but he'd never ride it, so...
Yeah, he wouldn't.
I know a guy in Ireland that doesn't drink. And that guy has some of the nicest cars you have ever seen. You know, you have to spend your money and enjoy yourself some way. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah, because you can't take it with you.
Exactly.
No.
But, there's a pesky thing called bills that you got to do, though.
Unfortunately, there
Being an adult fucking sucks so hard.
You really fucking.
I know. I don't want an adult anymore.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I really hate being an adult.
Oh wow.
I enjoy owning my own house.
You're welcome.
Did you actually call him sexy twink Jesus when he did that?
Yes, he was summoning him, so
he was definitely channeling him. Yeah.
channeling him, whatever. I am too right now, Jen, so Anyway. I thought you would like that.
This is going to be
awesome. Did you cop a ban on Twitter, Amanda?
It wouldn't let me DM for how long was it, MathPig?
Maybe a half hour, an hour.
You can do normal tweets?
Yeah, I was able to do that. I just couldn't text, so sorry.
That's weird.
What?
That sounds
weird.
funny.
Yeah, that sounds like a
really
bug
weird.
because normally what you get is the soft bans are usually
No,
you
it
can't
wasn't a
tweet,
ban.
but you can DM people you know.
It wasn't a ban. It was I don't know. It just wouldn't work.
I was
for a
going to
while.
say I'd be amazed if you did because
Did
there's
you
only
shut
one person who's
I
trying to
have been
ban any of
suspended
us,
before.
and we haven't done anything to them.
Jen!
Sorry.
But Morton got banned automatically. You've
They
got Morton, Linda's
Again?
Linda's husband.
Mr. Nielsen got
Again.
banned. Yeah, why did he get banned?
He doesn't know. Well, the message he got back when they unbanned him was just, maybe spammy, maybe replying on posts, unsolicited things.
See, this is the thing that I see with problems. If they're gonna, like, YouTube ban you for hate speech or Twitter ban you for this, and they're gonna do it by automation, they should at least make a reference to the message so you can, try and figure out. They don't give you any help whatsoever. And the reason they probably do that is so they can be as vague as possible to keep them with all the laws. But if they were specific, you'd probably beat them in fucking court or something. It's
No. They don't tell you because it's easy to get around.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, as in it's easy for people to just. I mean, it's like the rape threats. There were lots and lots of rape threats on Twitter, and then Twitter turned around and said, "That's it."
Okay, we're talking about that, and you went rape.
Twitter then said that the UK government turned around and said, "If Twitter don't stop this, we are going to ban Twitter from the UK." And so Twitter turned around and said, we are going to ban rape threats. Okay, so that's fine. All the people that were doing the rape threats just turned around and changed the threat to, "Well, I wouldn't rape her."
Terrible.
Because if you tell people exactly what they're being banned, will get banned for.
Oh, that was all to do with the Sargon drivel, wasn't it?
Do you want? I don't remember the details, but it was definitely around that time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're going to say that about somebody, it's a veiled rape threat.
It is. Very much so. That's your intent. That's the purpose behind your message.
If your purpose is to try and say something rapey whilst trying to look like you're not, then you are making a rape threat.
Yeah, but that's the same as with all this fucking ban a word, ban this, ban that. I'd like to know the hint, or at least the thing that I've done wrong. Okay.
Well, no, I wouldn't have a problem if they turned around and said you're being banned for a rape threat, but a human is deciding whether or not it's a rape threat.
You would prefer that?
Yes, because the point is you can turn around and say that tweet is considered a rape threat. I apologise for keeping on the rape thing, but it's relatively...
It's okay. No, it's relevant. I kicked you because it was out of context, and then it turned out to be on context.
I think the point there, Dave, is that computer algorithms don't understand context.
No, not at all.
And that's the biggest problem with Twitter at the moment, is it has no concept of context.
No.
And like Nakasuchi has recently been demonetized.
Like when Ozman got banned for calling Jay a bitch in the middle of a conversation where they were just
slap him.
Not you getting banned. What did you say?
Me?
No, Jen got banned.
Oh, I got banned for making a trans joke.
Yeah. But again, it was at your still. It was
at my own expense. Yeah.
Yes. you were basically taking the piss out yourself.
I didn't. I got a week for it.
Yeah.
And I appealed it, and they said, and I told them the context, and they still said, "Oh no, we had a human review it, and we still think you should be banned." Yeah, bullshit. You had a human review it. Any human who reviewed this would realize it was a joke at my own expense.
I don't think they care. And again, Twitter is another one of the ones that is outsourcing the appeals to countries that do not approve of LGBT.
Is that where all that crap happens with YouTube and Twitter?
Yeah, well, not all of it, but some of that. A load of. I think certainly 2/3 of their first line support staff that deal with this stuff is in
Malaysia, probably.
Malaysia.
India wouldn't be a problem because it's not as big an issue in India. So
it's enough that if they are just glancing at it, it's how much you're willing to actually investigate for a tweet. When they're just glancing at it, they're using their own
moral standards.
Yes.
So in effect, actually, if they could teach context to the computer algorithm, it'd probably be better than the people.
Yes. Oh, very much so.
I recently read a thing with lung cancer. And the algorithm came back with an 83% result rate, and the humans came back with a 76% result rate.
Oh, computers are going to take over medicine.
The radiologists, it was a whole thing about the radiologists are really worried that they're going to get put out of business. Now, the radiologists that are helping with the AI saying that this gives you the ability to stretch then into the other fields of radiology that are being lost on. Because if you're just looking to diagnose, say, lung cancer for a doctor and then give the information back to a doctor, that's all you're doing in that specific thing. it gives you, the algorithm taking that job over gives you the ability to stretch out into the other things.
It also gives the radiologist a backup so they can actually run the algorithm, look at it themselves, so they've got a human eye over it as well, and go, yes.
Well, that was the point that they were making, the people who were backing it up. Not that the radiologist would look it up, is that the information was going from a doctor to the algorithm, back to a doctor, and then to the patient. The doctor was giving it the eye over. The algorithm.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not straight from them to that.
Yeah, that would be dreadful if it was straight from the algorithm to the person. Yeah, there's a good way to take the human element out of everything.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly agree with that. It's good to have that information ability there, and have that. See, that's what it's going to come to, because when we get into later stages in our humanity, things are going to get to the point, because we're that. Why is Dave laughing at me?
Because the way you described later stages made it sound like our civilization was dying.
I missed that.
Oh no, I wasn't laughing at that. In the chat, I said we need a zombie breakout, and Josh said we already have that in Alabama. It's called meth.
The point I was trying to make is
I should actually get dressed and put some clothes on.
The point I was trying to make, all right, and not go up that higher, more advanced society or anything like that. But you can't, when it gets to a point and kids are 10 and 11, you're going to have to be teaching the kids who are 10 and 11 now what people will be taught in university level later on, because we're going to advance that much that our brain's not going to be able to do the calculations and stuff. We're going to have to rely on computers more and more and more and more and more. But you do still have to put a human eye to it and a human interpretation to it.
Oh, you don't.
So you're just gonna, we just discussed that with Jet. So you will just go straight. A man can walk in and stand up and get a computer to X-ray him, and he will have full guarantee and confidence in the little printout that comes out of the box.
Ultimately, yes.
Yeah.
It's like self-driving cars, right? The top-end self-driving cars right now, right, that are struggling to get certification, are multitudes of times better than a human driver.
100% agree with you. We have actually cars now with AI. ABS is AI.
Oh, no, there's a caveat to that, Dave. The top-end self-driving car are better than a human driver in normal situations. Dreadful at freak situations.
Right, yeah, this is what I was going to bring up. On a general day-to-day, if everything went well, Dave, yes, the statistics show that a computer-drove car, an AI-drove car, is better. Now, then when it comes to it, do you kill the baby or do you kill the two people on the side of the road? Street, freak occurrences that Jen's bringing up. Where does the decision lie then?
No, humans don't make those decisions. The experiment's actually being done. We avoid the decision making until the catastrophe has happened, and then we can deny that we had a choice.
Yeah.
Sorry, MathPig.
I'm asking, what does the computer do? How does the computer decide? That's the point I'm asking you. How does the computer decide in AI in a freak occurrence?
The computer would weigh up the chances for the best, the most savings of lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
it wouldn't.
No,
it can't. The computer, it won't work like that. It can't.
Yeah, that's that. It's a confliction. That's what I'm saying.
It will have to work based upon the occupant of the car.
Oh yeah, it would actually, if you're talking about saving the people in the car. But if you're talking about if you're coming off the road and you have a choice of hitting two groups of people.
Oh yes.
Then the computer would choose to kill the least.
I don't think it would. I don't think you will ever have a situation. If there was a situation where there was a 50-50 chance of survival for the person in the car.
I agree with Dave. This is the point I was trying to make. Who is more important? If there's a busload of people and if you hit them they explode, or the four people in the car. Who's more important to the computer? It's going to be the people in the car.
No, the person that owns the computer.
Yep, it's going to be the people in the car.
The problem is, if you
will program them that way.
If you don't implement it, people will hack it anyway. The first thing I would do if I got an AI. The first thing I would do if I got an AI that I could not trust that would have put my interests above someone else's is make it put my interests above someone else's.
Well, I've never thought that far.
Then you're asking to create AIs that have self-preservation as their primary directive.
No, it's not self-preservation. It's preservation of the person in the car. Okay, you're right though. You offer an interesting choice. Is what if there's no one in the car? What if the car's just driving itself to you? The
car doesn't know any different. Well, it might do, but
it would do.
You see, this is the confliction I was trying to point out, not the fact of down of what humans decide. Humans don't decide and it happens afterwards. I'm talking
but the
about...
human would decide exactly the same thing. The human will put themselves before the bus.
No, I have been in a car accident with a person who was nervous driving, and what they did is they let go of the steering wheel. They did not know what to do, and they let go of the steering wheel. They went through the barrier, and they went up a fucking bank and barred, like the cars on the side. They just panicked and let go of the steering wheel and let God decide.
Yes, well, that's true. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with the trolley experiment, which is what I was mentioning before. When they actually did the trolley experiment, granted, they didn't kill anybody, but they made the people think they were going to kill people. People, on the whole, the majority of people did nothing. They tried to look for an out or somebody else to take the responsibility. They did nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. My friend just let go of the steering wheel and just let it happen. But a computer won't. As Dave says, he would hack the computer. He would make it look after him. This is the ability to do that.
Oh, people would also hack the computer to do really dumbass things too.
Yes, they will. They already are.
Yeah. Think of how smart young kids are. Nowadays they steal cars. In the future, they'll hack cars from their window. They'll be sitting outside watching the car drive itself around and crashing in just for the crack of it.
Okay. I can't tell you where this has come from, and I don't know how much it's got public, but where I know it's come from, there has already been cases of remote that we fairly certain that there have been deaths from someone remotely hacking a car.
Fallacy.
I can't say anything. I can't.
Because when they did the tests on this car hacking, Billy, if you can get access to the car physically previously, you can set the cars up so you can hack them as long as you're driving within a certain distance through their Bluetooth. But you have to have access to the car to start off with. No. So technically, if you could get access to the person's car, you could screw the car up so that you can do things like enable their brakes whilst they're driving and stuff like that.
Yes.
But you have to have access to the car first up to give yourself access to that. You cannot just hack somebody's car you're driving past. Despite the fact they did it in a TV show, which was stupid.
Forget TV. Right. The issue is there's no security on the bus in most cars. Right. So if you put something wireless that is unsecure onto that bus, you get access to the engine.
Yeah, but you have to link those buses, and the buses that control the car mechanisms aren't the same as the ones that are your Bluetooth for talking to your radio. That was the point. You had to actually have access to the car to enable that.
Less than that, because some of them had Wi-Fi on the bus, which was eminently exploitable.
Yes, but
just to point out, can I just point out? Jay's here. Jay's here. Hi, Jay. After party, Jay.
Hi.
How's that movie going? Is there any movies that you could think of that would be relative to this? That's not Speed.
Well,
Skynet. Come on, say Skynet. Let's go down the Terminator route, man.
I was gonna go with Skynet, but actually, in this situation, probably The Matrix would be a better example of computer takeover.
What is your thoughts on The Matrix 4?
Oh, I'm excited.
Are you excited?
If they do it right, it's going to be an excellent movie.
Right, but no, I've been deliberately trying to not look at any information. I did see one scene where he was walking past like a coffee shop and there was a taxi and stuff there, but
that's all I've seen too. I'm trying.
Is that the Russos thing?
It's the new Neo. Is it going to be a prequel? It has to.
No, it's a continuation.
So, right. Well, why are they in the Matrix then? Why is there a new Neo in the Matrix if everybody?
That's something they're keeping tight-lipped.
See, I thought it was going to be a prequel, as in, a previous Neo, because there was Neos before Neo.
I don't know. I said they're keeping it tight-lipped, but from what I understand, it's supposed to be a continuation of the story. But Raven did mention something I completely forgot. Maximum Overdrive.
That is what's that?
Maximum Overdrive.
Was that a cartoon?
No. This the big semi with the clown mask on the front of it, Stephen King, where all the machines came alive and was trying to kill everybody.
Was that taking the piss out of in Futurama?
Probably.
Something similar to the car one. What was the car one? The Stephen King. Was it the Stephen King novel?
Yeah, that's Max. Oh, you're talking Christine.
Yeah, that's what it is, Christine.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Christine's good. Yeah, Futurama took the piss out of that.
But as far as the Matrix 4, from what I understand, it's supposed to be a continuation of the series, but I don't know how they're going to go about doing it. They're really keeping that tight lip.
You know, I really do. If it's a prequel, it would make sense. If it's a continuation, the only thing that would bring that to happen is that the humans agreed to it, or else
Oh no!
I was about to say or, and you jumped in. You fucking shut your mouth. As like either the humans agreed to it, or the robots won again. That's the only two options that can go for. And if the robots won again, all right, go on, Dave. Tell me I'm wrong. Throw in your third one.
If they started a new Matrix, there's no reason that he can't exist with inside. They can't create an AI version of him to exist inside the Matrix.
So actually, in preparation, knowing that Neo will happen, infiltrate it from the start and take control of it.
No, because you don't know what side he's on. It could be like Terminator.
There's also the aspect that given that we already knew that the AIs could implant themselves into humans because the agent did it. Isn't it possible that Neo uploaded himself to within the Matrix?
So the version that we see, you know, their bodies do actually transform. Yeah. So he'll have uploaded himself into it.
Yeah, he could have uploaded himself into the Matrix to just make sure the machines didn't screw it over.
I was going to say
go back on their agreement.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Was why would he upload if everyone's supposed to be free? He would upload to make sure they're not bullshitting.
Sure that everything's all right. Yeah.
And it turns out they are all bullshitting, and he has to free everyone again with the help of.
In which case, all he has to do is download himself into another person, just like agents do.
Yeah, and then do it all over again.
Yep.
That's a good point of view that I never thought of. I appreciate that.
In which case, you could actually have Keanu Reeves appear in it right at the beginning, and then he could leave, and they could have an entirely different actor actually be Neo.
Nah. I don't think that would work.
Nah.
The fans would revolt.
We don't know that he's dead, ultimately. We just know that his body, he's disconnected from his body, and his body's dead.
Yeah. So I do have.
I mean, he was within the Matrix, so he probably just uploaded himself. But they'd want a way for him to get out of the Matrix as well. So he has a twin within the Matrix, and he goes and out.
Every time I try to say something.
Sorry, Jay.
Damn it, Jen. Anyways, since we actually have a climate scientist on the panel here, have you seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
You're evil, man.
Fucking useless. That was her one chance to talk. She's been quiet for like 45 minutes. She got the stage.
I wasn't crying. I just said I apologize for not having anything to say.
Nobody heard you apologize. No, get out.
Well, the day after tomorrow is. Yeah, the day after tomorrow is based on a large Arctic like vortex basically coming down. It's like a giant super hurricane type thing that freezes almost the entire northern, like flash freezes the entire northern part of the U.S. How feasible? I mean, obviously you can't do it in the aspects they're talking, but how feasible would like a flash freeze be in an apocalyptic type situation?
I mean, not to that extent. We're talking about, I mean, weather changes like that. Like we have all the hurricanes now that are really bad and stuff. I mean, something like that is possible, but not that magnitude. No, it would be just a small area, maybe cover a state or two at the most. So.
You gotta think about the temperature difference you'd have to cause flash freezing.
Yeah.
And to cause that amount of snow and instant, I mean, people were instantly frozen. So you're talking about liquid nitrogen temperatures.
It would be more likely somewhere near the coast too, like a nor'easter, most likely, if it were, feasibly in the United States.
Yeah, and you'd have to be really close to the poles. Sorry, Amanda.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so no, it nothing to that magnitude, but yes, something similar on a much smaller level. I mean, at the moment, yes. I mean, in terms of what happens when we're all super fucked and everything is fucked, I don't know. But considering the fact that it, at the moment we have the more colder spells and the more warmer spells. It fluctuates back and forth. But as the polar ice caps melt, we're going more towards always warmer. So
see, that was going to be my follow-up question. Are we looking more towards a warmer climate coming or a colder?
Yeah. We already have effects of it happening in sub-Saharan Africa. They're having serious droughts, more so than they're used to. But they have no food at all. They can't do anything. And the endangered species list is just blowing up because so many ecosystems are just fucked because of the different. We don't see it so much here for some reason in North America, and even in Europe, it's not as bad as the South Poles or the southern part of the globe. Sorry. So it's much more effective down there. It has to do with currents actually, but eventually, yeah, it's always going up to a warmer. Every year for the past 17 years has been the warmest on record. So
we're in the J.
Yes.
And we're not just looking. You don't think warmer, drier, etc. No, we're looking at warmer, humid, wetter.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be more precipitation,
definitely.
Especially near the coast. Yeah, there's going to be more precipitation. It's going to get more humid, but it's still going to be hot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're looking at. And then we're looking at losing our coasts because
we're already losing them.
Yeah, we are, but we're going to lose them. We're going to lose them west. We're going to have to shift our cities for us to survive. I mean, we're not going to die out as a species. We might lose an awful lot of us, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for the planet.
Okay.
That's true, isn't it, Amanda?
No, it's not. I mean, eventually, if it keeps going this way, yeah, we will. Because every species will be the last to fall, probably, or one of the last, other than like insects, which we can live off of. But I mean,
we're pretty ingenious. I mean, as far as the species go, I mean, the planet doesn't give a right roll. Screw what we do. To be perfectly honest, the planet will get over this and move on, and there'll be a new life form evolve at some point, whatever. Unless we really do it bad and we turn ourselves into a mini Venus. Which is technically possible, I suppose. Get enough carbon in the atmosphere to become a Venus.
According to Richard, Jupiter's going to become a second sun. Because Mercury is going to get knocked out of its orbit by 5 meteorites. The 5 meteorites in conjunction are going to knock Mercury out of its orbit. It's going to fly over the top of Venus, fly over the top of Earth. It's going to be brought back down by their gravity and crash land into either Europa or Io. But both of them are going to be affected. They are then going to crash into Jupiter. Jupiter is then going to become a second sun. It is going to eject something, and that is then going to crash into the Earth. The Earth is then going to experience 3 years of all this shit going mad without losing its orbit. And then the aliens are going to come and measure us with ropes to see if we're Nephilim.
I say one thing.
That sounds like a good conspiracy theory to me.
Now, I'm paraphrasing. I am paraphrasing, and I love Richard, but I'm paraphrasing. But I'm not fucking far off. That's at least 90% right.
Who said that?
Richard Madsen, my co-host on a Thursday. We go through this. We go through this every Thursday at 10 o'clock, Jen. We did the whole David and Goliath story, and now we're going through the Book of Enoch, and we're trying to get influences from. We're at chapter 70 something on the Book of Enoch, and we're trying to get influences from other old stories. We're thinking of old Aboriginal next, or maybe the Epic of Gilgamesh, and Richard will apply his belief to this. Heaven is a spaceship.
If you want to laugh on Friday morning when you wake up, put him on.
That's just nuts. I mean, for one thing,
Jen, just before you go any further, this man has been doing this for 7 years. This man spent a year purposely homeless and like went out so people could come at him with their objections. He went to the park, he did this, they come at him. He has a 59,000 word paper that backs up everything. The first 100 paragraphs are definitions and explanations. Richard is not, somebody who just watched Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. Richard is very well versed and backed up in what he says. And the more you
doesn't mean he's right.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Ask Sammy.
He's
right?
basing it on the Bible. Of course, he's not right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Remember Sammy Jenkins. Remember Sammy Jenkins has said up to the wee hours of the morning talking to him, did not believe him, went and found an Aboriginal story, and then everything that in the Aboriginal story did agree with Richard. Even Sammy was like, damn, this man's done his research. But he's never even looked at that. But it's go and meet Richard. You need to meet Richard. You can disagree with him. I had him on to make a fool out of him, and I ended up being my stepbrother on the internet. Okay.
He's a really nice guy. That's the problem.
You can't turn Jupiter. You'd have to throw like 40 other Jupiters into Jupiter to turn it into a star.
No. We actually did this. We've downloaded Universe Sandbox. We've downloaded Universe Sandbox. And we had
40 Jupiters.
It was 83 times its own mass before we had it turned into a sun.
Yeah. Well.
But you see, his loop around is this, that, and the other, and he has on that specific thing. You need to just meet Richard. It doesn't.
He
matter.
has magic. That's what he has. He has magic.
No,
he
it's not magic. It's an alien race that's more advanced than us. It's directed.
It doesn't make any difference to the physics.
Look. Yeah, I'm not going to try and defend the man's point because I spend every week screaming alien overlords at him.
Yeah.
I do. Come and listen, Jen. It's fun. I scream alien overlords every time he makes a statement. It's fun. But What?
He was watching.
He was here earlier.
Was he? Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, there's a space. He can come and tell me what he believes.
Richard Madsen.
We'll be here all night.
Yes. In all honesty, Jen, that's how I ended up doing the first series with him because I wanted to know his story, and it took over 10 hours. Okay?
Wow. That's just crazy.
We are in episode 9 of the Book of Enoch, and we've bumped it up from an hour to an hour and a half episodes, and we are in episode 9 to go through the Book of Enoch. We're only at chapter 70-something. There's 108 in the version we're using. It's an 1874 Ethiopian version.
Is that him, Richard?
Richard Madsen.
Yeah, 83 Jupiters. Okay. So Mercury is big enough to put the mass of 83 Jupiters into Jupiter.
Did I fuck up, Richard? Is that
right, Richard? And it depends what type of star you want to turn Jupiter into. I mean, if you're just talking about a red dwarf or something like that, yeah. There are red dwarfs that are only about 40 times the mass of Jupiter.
Jen, I think we need to stop this. Richard said he'd have a conversation with you. So
yeah, I'd love that. That would be insane.
Without Richard actually being here, the conversation. MathPig can only give you so much information. But I think that would be a funny conversation to listen to, the two of you.
Richard is 7 hours behind me. So what would that be to you then? What's your relativeness to me, Jen? It is 10 to 1.
So that's 15 hours for me.
15 hours. Well, yeah, so there's only a 3-hour difference with the 12, so that wouldn't be too bad. Richard has all...
Maybe it's something we can do on Jay's channel one week.
I'll go on to Richard's channel. Richard needs more subs. Richard needs people to
I'll go on Richard's channel.
Yeah, go on Richard's channel. Yeah.
Richard put his email in there for you, Jen. Go ahead and email him.
Oh, okay. I'll grab that now, Richard. I won't email right now, though.
Yeah. Email Richard, go on to Richard's channel. One thing I would recommend is 3 days before and every 12 hours after that, remind him of the time and the time difference.
Oh, look, I'm dreadful with stuff like that too, sir.
No, seriously, it's Richard. He is fucking awful with the times.
I'm going to listen to everybody else here, and I'm not going to go on about this anymore, Richard, but... You're wrong.
I do apologize if I apologize if I misrepresented you, Richard, in any way. Right. On that note, okay, everybody can get the fuck out. Jay, give your chance, our channel to chill.
Yeah, just join me on the Nevermore Tavern, have conversations, watch some silly satire, learn about some serial killers and some symbols, and join me every Saturday as we talk to guests, and then depending on the guest, we may have a regular facepalm right afterwards. So yeah, this week, this Saturday, I've got Godless Engineer for the one-on-one, and then afterwards, we're going to talk Scientology.
And Jay gets to say "damn it, Jen" a lot.
Yeah, and I get to say, "Damn it, Jen."
Screw you, Jay.
Yeah, so that's a great influence. Serial killers and symbols. Go watch Jay. Dave is going to do a stream sometime this week. I'm not even going to push him because he'll be an ass about it. He won't give us a date. It's coming this week. Just sub. It's called his crap quiz. Jane, your channel is all about LGBTQ, science, debunking, telling people to fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. Atheism as well, but yeah. Yeah, I mostly get upset at people who are stupid.
Then why the hell she hangs around with us? I do.
Yeah.
Because Dave, I see you as an equal, and Amanda is my superior, even though I talk over her. Oh, by the way, everyone go and sub to. She's that way. Go and sub to Amanda. She's awesome. Are you at 100 yet, Amanda?
No.
Let's get her to 100 subs because she is amazing. She's my co-host for Critical Bitches. She is brilliant, and I know I talk over her when I shouldn't, and I apologize. I'm so sorry, Amanda. It's hard to make me shut up. Just ask Jay.
You literally have to go, Jen!
Yeah, you have to be. You have to.
I do when she's interrupting other people.
You just do that. That's it.
Yeah.
You see, you just do that.
Yeah, normally I'm in control of the stream.
Is she still talking? Sorry, go on ahead there.
I want to make a comment real quick before we get to Amanda.
Okay, hold on.
Flow State says his girlfriend loves serial killers, so he subbed. The one we've got on right now is Jack the Ripper, and the next one, hopefully by the end of this weekend, will be Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. So,
Jay, thank you very much again, man, for coming on.
Yeah,
Dave, we're ignoring him. We've done our.
We need to.
Mom, yeah.
We need Amanda to shill.
Shill.
I'm Amanda. I'm an atheist. I'm around with everybody, so that's it.
Yeah, you see, she's coming off as really nice, but she's not that nice. She's really not. She likes to tell everyone to go fuck themselves. So just you have to keep poking her until she gets to know you. Jen, we just did Jen, so when we didn't all do Jen, it's not. I'm digging a hole. Take a spin.
I mean, I'm not picky.
I'm a balding ginger man. You don't want me. I'm like the two worst things.
How tall are you? You know, no, I made a whole tweet about how I like tall men and tall women.
I'm 5'11". I used to be I'm 5'10". I used to be 5'11", but now I'm bald.
So, real quick, Amanda, March 21st, 9 p.m., you, me, sitting at the table talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Right. Yep.
I'll put you in right after Zapostate.
Great.
And are you on MathPig soon, Amanda?
31st?
Yeah.
Amanda will be on
the April 22nd, Earth Day, so we're doing, since I'm a climate scientist, that's the thing, so.
Amanda's going to be here on the 31st as well, everybody. 31st, it's scheduled. Go hit it. Hit the reminder. She will be here on the 31st of this month.
Yep. And if you want to hear really smart talk, listen to Amanda because she knows her stuff, even though I talked over her. So she's going to smack me for it later.
Okay. On that note, everybody, I'm going to end this. I want to say thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate it. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for the audience coming watching, it's just a group of fucking weirdos and a floating head.
Two floating heads.
Well, no, yes, that's right. I'm a floating head. Hopefully soon to be a pig head. I'm trying to do that too, but there's so many fucking computer things to learn, and yeah, I'm a mechanic. This is all different and new, and everybody, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Oh. You're gonna jump in.